Cordially Invited, where you all are cordially invited to watch us attempt to play some Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, a little homebrew style. We are back after some investigations. The gang is attempting to do the most dangerous thing, attempt to get a royal wedding to happen without too many hitches. I will say that. Too many hitches.
The bar's lowering.
The bar
is very low at this point. If the prince and princess both end up alive at the end, I think that would be a success. If they end up alive and married at the end, I think that's a gold star for us.
I mean, I don't have any plans for any catastrophes at all. It's so good, guys. Nothing is gonna go wrong. It's gonna be so fun. You're gonna get through the next 2 trials, and it's gonna be fine. So yes, we are returning to we had a pretty chill session last time, but before we recap, Scott, do you have anything to update our lovely audience on?
Well, thank you, Jackie. In fact, I do have a few things this evening that I just wanted to mention. As always, check out the description down below for all of our Discord access for the Dice Cult. There's a bunch of different shows on the Dice Cult, different nights, different shows on both Twitch and YouTube. So please always go and take a look at that. We also have a Notion site that's been worked on. Actually, some of our NPCs are up there now. Some of the images from our intro have been added up into the Notion site. And additionally, for full behind-the-scenes access here, all of our audio is completely different tonight. So if you're listening and one of us sounds like really loud or too quiet, or the music's too loud, or it's just like, wow, this sounds like ass, that would be helpful to know, and please put that in the chat. I won't take it personally because this is a whole new audio setup and we're doing new things tonight. So please let us know.
This sounds like ass, tell Scott. Yes. Okay. Will do. Okay. So I'm pulling up my notes because last time you all were dealing with a guard? 2 guards? Maybe? You don't really remember. Investigating the old Archmage's tower in the palace after following some aberration energy, some vibes that were going on, and not really, you didn't find anything. Drat. Darn it. Oh well. Nothing really to be concerned about whatsoever, except for the fact that the scar on Primac's hand, given to him by the undead dryad in the forest, it's burning.
Ow.
It's burning up a little bit. You all managed to survive quite a harrowing night fighting a worm man, investigating that tower, and eventually getting back to your quarters in order to long rest finally, which is your reminder if you haven't long rested to make sure you do, because some of you all were at some pretty low hit points, which I'm very proud of. I think I got some of you almost down, which...
Evil.
It's my job. I'm just doing my job. So I believe Neve was investigating the tower, found a couple magical items that they were pretty excited about. And you all set up plans to talk with Ren, the serving girl that Dove had befriended, who's going through some memory problems of her own, and Tristan, the sort of tag-along that y'all have adopted into this magical show, who is still a guard with the palace. Hasn't quit that job yet.
He'll do it soon. It's fine.
Yeah, and he's trying to do some reconnaissance for you in order to help you figure out what the next trial is. The immediacy of where we left off last time was you had sent Tristan off to go see what information he could find out, and you were talking with Ren about her missing memories of the man who raised her, the High Priest of Silvar, who had passed before you showed up, but she seems to have no memory of. You all had offered to help her with those memories. But Premac was not there for this conversation, and that's actually where we're going to pick up. Premac mentioned that he was going to go and pick up some food, but may have had some ulterior motives for departing from quarters.
So Premac fully does intend on getting breakfast for people. That's where he heads. But he is... Oh, I should pull up my notes while I say this. He is looking for... now that everyone's back at the castle, he's looking for people who he has now heard information about. He has had run-ins now with, let me go back to names here, with Argo Finch, who has also challenged Neve to combat at some point. But Argo Finch is the cousin of a guard that Premac had seen with a dagger. This guard had a dagger that Premac recognized that was created by him and or his partner, and possibly enchanted. And so that dagger was like, oh, okay. And now Argo also is related to that person. So there's just some stuff that's brewing in the back of his head with like, I want to observe and find this person. And also he's looking for the person, the lawkeeper, the arbiter of Tyrna. I think that's Lady Calliope, Corvus. Yes. So because they've promised to look into the assault on Premac's partner. And so he wants to see if there's any news in that regard.
Yes. You had previously met both Argo Finch and Lady Calliope Corvus. All of you met them at the feast. Specifically, though Premac has some past history with at least knowing the Lawkeeper of Tyrna, which is a city sort of in between Lys and Silvar, where the princess is from Lys. You guys are in Silvar, where the prince is from. And so Tyrna's like right nice in the middle. And so Lady Calliope is here as a guest of the wedding, and also maybe a little bit of investigating with Premac here. Argo Finch is, of course, the sort of body man of Duke Uller, his sworn sword, so to speak, who did, in fact, he was sort of volunteered or voluntold that the Duke believed that Mannequin and Argo should have a bit of a tete in a tournament that is apparently coming up at some point in the festivities. I think Premac would probably know in the palace right now. You know where the guest chambers are. You are sort of in a guest wing for the entertainers. The more like high society guests are a little bit deeper into closer to the center of the palace, and that's probably where Lady Calliope is. You would guess that Argo Finch is either somewhere in the training grounds or would be with Duke Uller. And you would probably have to figure out, he would probably be closer to the King's Tower because he is the brother of the king. But you're not exactly sure where the Duke would be staying or where Argo would be specifically. Okay,
then Premac would come into like the dining hall initially where he's supposed to get food, and would be looking essentially for a number of pastries to bring back for people to eat, and is going to take, if there's like a basket of them where you're supposed to take one or two, he's going to take the basket.
Absolutely.
I want a few dozen or whatever, and just kind of, and it doesn't even, most people might not even notice because he just walks by and his tail just kind of picks it up and off he goes, brings it underneath his cloak and carries on.
I would love a sleight of tail check.
I will give you the slightest of tail checks.
The tailest of sleight checks.
A 4.
Solid. Yeah,
Too slight.
a little too slight. You had a very rough night. It was just not fun in general. And so, you're a little still tired. As you go to swipe the basket, your tail definitely swipes it, but a couple rolls fall out onto the ground, and a couple servants who were like also getting food and going about their morning duties like look at you, and they're not gonna say anything to you, but they're like, what the fuck is he doing? But you're already moving. You are
gonna look at them and
sure.
Delicious. And then carry on.
Great. Cool. They have no idea what to do with you. Insofar there's not a ton of Dragonborn. And so a couple of these servants who aren't from Lys are sort of like, great, cool, okay, bye. And you manage to very confidently make your way out with the basket just trailing behind you, only like half under your cloak. Where are you headed?
I'm going to go. So, can you please remind me, who is the person that I came to blows with, or nearly to blows with, outside in the camp?
That would be Corcoran.
Corcoran, thank you.
Corcoran is a soldier. He's technically a guard of the palace, who was part of the prince's team on the hunt for the boar. He was the one that was very disrespectful to you, and the one who had that magic jar that was trying to capture some of the magic that Neve had absorbed.
Would I have any idea if he reports to Argo, Duke Uller, or any other of the people who are a little higher up on the food chain?
You would know that he, as a guardsman, would probably report to the captain of the guard. You would generally know where those offices are, as just like you had been given a tour by Lord Nolan at the beginning. And the captain of the guard's quarters are sort of closer to where the training grounds are, out in one of the many courtyards of this big palace. And you could make your way over there.
I would love to make my way over there. Thank you.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to hide the basket anymore. I'll keep it out behind me. I don't want people to get.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
people get weirded out if it's under my clothes and then I pull it out to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say you can make your way pretty much without much trouble. No one's really going to give you crap about it. You can get pretty much all the way out of the servants' quarters and headed towards the captain of the guard. You do notice, like, servants are starting to not be here, and guardsmen are changing shifts. Some of them are headed back to what you would presume to be barracks and quarters, and it just seems to be more teeming with guards as you get closer to the captain's offices. But you can make your way there, no problem.
As I go, I'll try to look for any guard who, if there's anyone who's not actively like doing drills or something like that, who seems to be more watching or guarding and stuff like that, happily go up to one of them and offer up the basket and just say, good morning. I come bearing breakfast and I would like to speak to the captain, please.
One of the guards, who is clearly stationed, sort of gives you a side eye, but looks down at the bread and is like, sure. He like reaches out to take one and sees if this is gonna be okay.
Please enjoy.
He just pockets a roll and nods, and he's gonna point you a couple doors down the hallway, where there is there's like a banner hanging on the door with a broken sword. It's like broken down the middle. You've sort of seen this around here and there, and it's in the red colors of Silvar. And the guard just points you at it and says, well, Captain's probably in his offices. You can go take breakfast to him. It's a new thing that's happening.
Thank you. Presumably, yes.
It's not a suspicious answer at all. Have a good morning. He's easily bribed with food, though.
Excellent. Head to the door. When I get there, I would just immediately knock. If there's no response in 3 seconds, I will open the door.
You knock. There's immediately enter. And you can open the door, no problem. It's not locked.
Oh.
And inside is a very kind of almost like clinical feeling office. It's very tidy. There are 2 bookshelves kind of sandwiching the room. There's a large simple desk in the back with a couple ledgers, a couple quills. There's an armor rack on one of the walls, and there's a very tall, kind of gaunt man. He's got a scar kind of going down across his chin, and he's in leathers. He's not in full armor yet, but it's clearly the morning, and he's finishing up reports. He has got some very strikingly white hair, and a little bit of a beard, clearly trying to cover up some of that scar, and he sort of looks up at you. Oh, yes, you're part of the entertainment, aren't you? What can I... Morning.
Currently, that is my assigned role. That is correct, sir. I came with breakfast in case you have not eaten yet, but I do have something I wish to speak to you about, and I would put the basket up on the table.
Well, yes. Anything to assist in the festivities. Lord Nolan has instructed us to be of service as well as security. He sort of looks at the breakfast but does not take one.
Yes, it is about security and service that I wish to speak to you of. You see, there was an unfortunate incident that occurred on the road between the some of the troops between both the princess and the prince's guards, and I thought it may not have come to your attention immediately, and I thought it might be worth bringing up. One under your employ, Corcoran, a bit of a brutish fellow, seems to have taken it upon himself to, perhaps, how might I say, there was a bit of impropriety in being around the princess's sleeping tent a little too often, and perhaps even ended up threatening some of both the entertainment and her guards. It was a bit of a scene, but it did appear to be that the guards who were there might have been a little hush-hush about it in an attempt to hide or attempt to cover for him. He seems a bit, how do you say, headstrong amongst the rest of them. My phone's ringing. I wanted to make sure you were aware of it, because the last thing I would want is for some sort of rumors to brew, or this to go unnoticed and ferment amongst those who might speak ill of both the security and the service of Silvar.
I am going to want you to roll a deception check.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. You're not exactly lying, but you're definitely misrepresenting the truth.
Some truths in there.
Yeah, so I'm not going to make it a disadvantage, but...
50-50.
It's good. My minus one is bad enough, so...
Ooh, buddy.
14.
Okay, a 14 is not bad. He sort of listens to all of this with a very good poker face, and kind of takes you in once over. I do apologize for any miscommunications that may have happened between Sergeant Corcoran and any of the princess's people. It was not any intention, nor the sort of thing that we would like to represent. I have only just begun to receive the reports of what happened out on the road, and you must understand that the guards have had a recent shift in their rotations, and some are still adjusting to form a military service. So their zealous nature may be a little bit attributed to their lack of simple routine, which shall be addressed. I appreciate you bringing this to my attention.
Let me, in case I was unclear, be very clear. I suffered no offense. In fact, as one whose routine has also changed over the years, relished in a bit of the down and dirty that occurred. I am not injured in any way. No apology necessary. What I do worry about, of course, is what... You know how those who gossip might be, not understanding men and women at arms, and how they might act amongst the common folk. Basically, Premac has got some shady past stuff at times, and I'm trying to just get on his side of, like, I ain't just someone who's, like, here to bitch and complain and looking for an apology or trying to get some gold out of this. I want you to know that, like, hey, it's cool with me, but, like, I don't want this going up the chain to people above you, and I'll be like, your men outside seem sturdy and well trained. They were polite and stern, and it was exactly what I would hope the reputation of Silva would be. I would hate for anything like that to be tarnished if rumors run amok, so I thought it best you know. I need nothing.
Well, I will have a talk with Corcoran about what happened on the road, and it will be addressed in our own manner. Thank you for letting me know, and if we of the guard can be of any service to the princess or yourselves in your time here, we are at your service.
Excellent. There is one thing that if you are offering indeed service, there was, I believe, a few when I came from Tirna, north of Tirna, with some of my goods, there were some that were labeled for members of Sildar that I believe may have come for they may have been ordered for members of the guard, clothing, bits of weaponry perhaps, but in the confusion of a wedding such as this, of this magnitude, some of the addresses and names were mixed up. Do you happen to know of anyone who might have been ordering from our establishments in Tirna for any clothing for the upcoming wedding, royal or otherwise, amongst your soldiers or your captainship?
You would have to speak to the quartermaster about if anyone from the palace was ordering official business. I let the nobles handle their own ordering. Unfortunately, for us, we don't have the same deep pockets. We're not certainly ordering from Tirna. No offense, it's just pricier than our
No, yes, I charge
guard
quite
salaries.
a bit.
Yeah.
Would any of the nobility, if they were sending guards to collect something, would it be from your group, or would they have their own personal repertoire they would send?
We are the royal guard. We stay with the royal family and the palace itself. We don't go traipsing about the countryside. We're certainly not messengers. The nobles might hire their own guard or their own household to go and pick things up, or might hire from outside. But for the most part, I think most of the nobles send their own people. They have swords and shields aplenty of their own.
Of course. My mistake. If you're ever in Tiana, please do stop by. You're doing fairly well here, but we could probably do a little better if you wished to. It might, you know what they say, the clothes make the man. And we'll bow and kind of can't leave without insulting him a little, you know?
Yeah. He's just like, the fuck are you talking about? Just like straightens his tunics and is like, thank you for the suggestion. What was your name, sir?
Premac Zarath.
Premac Zarath. Yes, well, if you should have any further issues, Premac Zarath, you can ask for myself or any of my men to assist you.
Did he give his name?
He did not.
Then I would say, thank you. And your name, sir?
Captain Kazdan.
Scott will ask Jackie to spell that. Kazdan?
Kazdan. Kazdan.
Kazdan. All right.
He is not the type to be given out his first name willy-nilly.
Gotcha. As Premac turns with his basket, his tail will put one roll on the desk as he's walking away. So it's far away. I'll just go for the door.
Perfect. There's no objection, though you do see a last look as you close the door is Captain Kazdan picking up some of the reports that were on his desk and starting to rifle through them. You get the sense that he's probably now looking for some of the reports that had come in for to verify and see what went down in the woods.
Cool.
And he is going to speak to Corcoran at some point.
Perfect.
And
I want Corcoran angry. And I'll start heading back towards our place with breakfast. A little late, but I'll come back.
okay. Yeah. I gotta make a note.
Pick a fight.
It's just, look, there's some moving threads, there's some moving pieces. I roll for things at random. It's fine. It's fun. Nothing happens that you don't know about. Yes. So Kazdan will talk to Corcoran at some point. You can make it back to quarters, no problem. The guard that you had given the roll to sort of nods at you. Much
Salute
more.
with my tail.
He's like wiping some bread crumbs off his chin. Is like,
I'll give him another one then as I go by. I like making a friend.
oh yeah. He eagerly takes it and puts it in his pocket and just gives you a nice thumbs up. And like a.
I would very much like to make a mental note of what he looks like and like any identifying stuff if I could.
Actually, roll me a history check.
Ooh, a history check. History I'm good at. +6. 20.
20. You recognize this guy. He was one of the guards that had come with you guys on the way through the woods. You didn't interact with him, but Neve did. This was the older guard who was talking to Tristan, and checking in on him and trying to make sure that he stayed on the straight and narrow, and was trying to comfort him because Tristan's brother had passed, and was trying to make sure everything was okay. He is sort of shorter, a very stocky, a little bit older guard. He's got some gray starting to peek through, some very like sandy blonde hair. And yeah, you never got his name either. But you can recognize him.
All right. Thank you.
And you can make your way back, where I will say the conversation with Ren has been ongoing. You guys were in Dove's quarters, I believe? Or back in...
I think we moved to Neve's because Dove's is filled with items that fell out of the
the bag of holding, yes.
The bag of
Yeah.
holding.
It's a little bit of a mess right now. Yeah.
Yes. You're welcome.
Well, not my fault, of course. We just won't go in there.
So you all are having this conversation with Ren, and Dove had just said that you all are going to help Ren possibly retrieve some memories. When Premac arrives with breakfast, some nice rolls, fresh. Well, not so fresh anymore. They were fresh. They're a little cooler now. And yeah, Ren is still very sort of confused. You've challenged her notion of literally her sense of self and memory, for forgetting a person she doesn't have any clue existed. And yeah, Premac is here with some rolls coming in.
Yeah, Premac will bring in the rolls, place them down, and say, I apologize for the delay. I had a few errands to run. How's she doing? Kind of pointing at her while she's right there.
Well, we haven't done anything yet. Just talking. What errands did you run?
Mainly I'm trying to get Corcoran fired. We'll see what happens. I hope he finds out it was me.
What?
Ren is also like, what?
I spit breadcrumb everywhere. The birds go crazy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Flock of birds. Ren of the crows.
You have to understand, I am a very cerebral person. I spend much of my time thinking, and I just need to occasionally, stretch my non-existent wings. And that little tip that I had with Corcoran was actually quite a bit of fun. And I wouldn't mind doing that again. He was an asshole.
Oh, so you're
want to fight him
deliberately
again?
antagonizing him. This isn't even about him being fired. This is about you want him to come find you and fight you again.
Oh, he's terrible and he should be fired. But
Yes.
I would like to fight him again, yes.
Oh my.
I feel like
This
there's
is
an
a lot.
easier way to get around to that.
Okay, well, what's done is done. So,
The
Ren.
truth is, he was quite terrible, and he seemed to be bullying the rest of them quite a bit, or at least.
No, for sure, he's like mixed up in some bad shit.
Oh, he's awful. Ren is like very quick to be like, yeah, he fucking sucks.
Ooh,
All right.
what gossip do you have?
Oh, I just hear all of the complaints that the younger guards have about Corcoran. Just ever since he got back from his military rotation, he's been quite awful about everyone.
When was his military rotation?
Oh, he's been back for about a month, maybe 2.
Was he awful before the rotation?
No, he was just serving as a part of a regiment.
No, like, did
Like,
you
what, did
know him
he like?
beforehand?
We sort of knew of him. Generally, some of the training happens, and when he got a promotion, and he won that award, then yeah, he earned a medal
What
for
award?
some service he did for the Duke, killing.
Oh.
And she like looks at you all and is like, killing fairies in the wood.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Oh, see, he should definitely die. I mean, lose in a fight.
Yeah, he's sort of not a great guy.
But did he have the reputation of being really mean before he went on the thing?
I'm not sure. I didn't really ever know
Oh,
him
it's the dinner bell.
beforehand. Yes.
It's the breakfast alarm. Or
Breakfast
Second
alarm.
breakfast.
No, we didn't really know anything about him before. He was just sort of a soldier, nothing special.
Okay.
And then he went and, went on campaign, and it was very strange.
Right. Okay. Let's deal with your problem first. Real quick, I'm gonna pull Dove over to a corner and just like talk in hushed tones where hopefully Ren can't hear us. So do you want do you want me to try to just like dispel the thing on her? Or do you want me to like try to get in her head like I did with Premac? Which do you think would be better? Oh, and I'll say this by Premac's not included. I'm sorry, since we're talking about your brain.
So
a little too nervous. I'm sorry.
Well, of course, whatever you feel more comfortable with. I think, though, not to be a downer or anything, but the other times you tried the dispelling of magics, it didn't work out super well. But Premac's thing worked out pretty good. So
we'll practice with that one. So
yeah, that could be a more safe option. And if she's already been messed with quite a bit, she could be fragile. So maybe better to just kind of pop in and see how things look.
Yeah, that seems fine. Yeah, okay. That's what I'll do. Then I'll walk back over to Ren. Okay,
good luck.
No, you should have one of these, Ren. They're a little stale, but
they are delicious. See, this spell is going to take me a few minutes, and I need you to sit right there. And I'm going to do some things around you, and while you sit, you might as well, go ahead and eat. But don't worry, this is all completely safe, and it should help you remember some of the things that you've lost. If you've lost anything at all. If you haven't, then, I'll find that out and nothing will happen. It'll all be fine. Okay?
Oh, okay. You're repeating how safe and fine this is really making me feel like it might not be.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted you to know for sure. Like, not have any doubts about it.
Have you done this before?
Yes, I have.
Oh, yes,
actually, quite a few times. I did it to him.
And looks at Premac.
Yeah, he's like,
fine.
That's fine.
And you're good? You're fine?
I mean, wait,
And we can give you a juice box and cookie afterwards. It'll be very good.
Okay.
You'll get a sticker that says "Very good job. You're a star."
She's like, she still has this comfort bird on her shoulder, and is like,
bird, and just hang out for 5 minutes while I cast Forget.
Okay. Yes, you can absolutely cast Forget.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Premac, I didn't have my stickers in the woods. They're all out there.
Premac has owed some back stickers. All right, you are going to cast Forget on Ren. What does the spell? You've described it being cast on Premac before. Since you're trying to do a slightly different thing here.
Yes.
What does that look like?
So I'm going to, because for the viewers at home, this is a homebrew spell of Jackie's that I took by accident, and we're kind of flavoring it as this is Neve just doing whatever weird magic they can do, and the only way they've ever had it work before is to make someone forget something. So they are going to focus on the fight with the worm man. And their intention, to get the spell set up, is to make Ren forget about the fight and all the scary things that happened there.
Okay.
And hopefully get access to her mind through there and then do a bit of digging.
Okay. Absolutely. So your intention is to make her forget the fight that happened in the kitchen and open the door. All right. Okay. Yes,
See how it goes.
Yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. I had you roll something for this. Give me an Arcana. Just give me an Arcana check.
Just straight check, huh?
Can I try to help out? I can.
Yes. You
I know
two are magically linked. I will say that you have some.
I remembered what her mindset was like beforehand, and I want to try to like communicate that to Neve so they can see maybe where that's unlocked. See the differences.
I will, if Dove communicates to Neve that she has like some information to share on this, I will expend a sending to like get the mental information there.
Okay.
To
I'll allow
aid
that.
it. Okay, yeah.
Allow that. You can have...
Throwing another spell slot on it to see if that helps.
Yeah, I'll say that can give you advantage.
And I think so. Like the Neve has previously used this spell on Premac and also on primarily by getting people very drunk and then just convincing them to sit still for 5 minutes. So I think it is not actually very showy. They kind of just like sit in front of Ren and like take her hands and kind of like start doing some like arcane sigils and like little hypnotic patterns with their hands and fingers before finally reaching forward and pressing their forehead to Ren's.
Okay. Absolutely. Go ahead and roll that Arcana check with advantage then.
Cool. 19.
A 19. Yeah, this, despite the fact that you're trying to do this to achieve a different goal, you're still going about your usual trying to get them to forget something that happened. And because it was so recent, it feels like you touch foreheads and it's almost like stepping through a sort of like warm mist.
Oh, warm.
It's a little uncomfortable.
Sorry, you said warm mist. I heard worm mist because of
No,
man, and I was like, oh god,
worm, not worm.
What's a worm mist? What's that?
I'm gonna find out.
I don't think you want to know. But yeah, you sort of like step through this odd, uncomfortable feeling, and then sort of, all right, I've got this. And what Premac's mind had sort of felt like, Ren's is a little smaller, a little tighter, but certainly fewer doors and sort of like those, all of these doors are open to you because you rolled so high. And like Premac, there's these sort of like waving curtains that you know that these memories would sort of be behind. And you rolled well enough that you know exactly which door to sort of go down to find the memory of the fight in the kitchen. It's very close by because it was so recent. And you can gain access to it, and as soon as you get to that entryway, it's almost like you can see through the curtains onto like a hazy first-person perspective of Ren experiencing the fight and the rush, and then suddenly hiding behind that door for the fight.
So usually what I would do is I would just immediately find the memory I wanted and like kind of pack it up and lock it away somewhere. But since that is not my main goal, I am going to kind of start meandering and look for anything that seems out of place or seems magically altered in some way.
Yeah, I will say, go ahead and give me an investigation or Arcana, whichever you so desire.
Oh, that's a nat 1.
Oh,
A 3.
You know, there's a lot of things that could have happened on a nat 1, and I'm really glad that this is where it happens. There's just so many choices. There's so many things that I can do. I will say you are going to try and find. You sort of know what you're looking for. You know that you're searching for an older memory, and so you very confidently start walking past these many curtains, just trying to find something that feels off. And it takes a little while because honestly it's like, well, it's fine. None of these seem too complicated. You're peeking into different memories that Ren has had. And you come across a few, because this seems like almost like an endless sort of hallway. You're not exactly sure where it starts and where it ends. And you find there's a few of those almost like billowing curtains that are like tattered at the edges. And there's a couple of them sort of down this row, and they seem to get almost muddy at the bottom. There's almost like a stain on the bottom of a few of these curtains. I'll say there's probably about 3 that are starting to get stained in color that you can find. You're not exactly sure which one is which. You'd have to go and look through them in order to find out.
Yeah, I will go up and peer through the nearest one of those curtains and try to avoid touching any of the like stain if I can.
Yeah. I will say you can go up to the nearest one. Go ahead and give me... How close are you getting first?
Close enough that I can, like, how... So these curtains, are they sheer or are they like slightly transparent? They completely opaque, or like...
These are a little cloudier. You can sort of make out shapes moving behind it, but they almost look like wisps. They're like people shaped, but you can't totally tell what's what. You're definitely gonna have to get closer.
Yeah, I guess I would stand probably maybe 5 feet away from the curtain and try to like peer through to get the shape of things before stepping closer to see if I can see a little better.
Absolutely. You can't quite make out some of the things, and as you step closer, you sort of have to keep in mind where the curtain is, as it's like almost reaching out to try and brush against you.
I will put my hands on the like door frame to keep from going too far.
Yeah, you can put your hands on the door frame. Are you going to let the curtain touch you?
I think the only way to see the memory is to get behind the curtain, so I will try to move it aside a little bit to peek through.
Absolutely. Give me
an
intelligence saving throw.
Oh boy. That's a 2.
Okay, what are...
Oh
These
no.
intelligence saving throws. These are very fun for me.
Oh, no.
I will say you can witness, as you sort of peer through, it feels almost like oppressively humid in this memory. Like it's hard to breathe in it. And almost like there's something that does not want you to be here. And you're seeing, as Ren, you're sitting at a desk, and you feel like it's the perspective is all sorts of off, and you sort of look up and you realize that Ren is much smaller, probably a child, and looking up at a person. It's a person. There's no face. It's just smooth and warped, and you can't tell any features. And they're saying something to you and pointing at a paper on the desk, and there's tones coming from somewhere, but you can't recognize any of it. And as soon as you see that figure, you watch as almost like these odd tendrils sort of wrap around the person and start pulling them backwards away from the memory. There are 2 other doorways.
I will go and peek through the next one.
I'd like another intelligence saving throw.
I'm never gonna save on this. I hope you know.
You got this in another try.
That's a 10.
A 10. In this one, Ren is a bit bigger and clearly having an animated conversation with this figure who now at least you can tell is sort of wearing these gray and red embroidered robes, who is sitting this time, and it clearly looks like they might be having a very informal dinner or tea, but that same issue of almost like you're trying to see features on this person's face, and it's like every time your gaze just slides right off of it. And this time you get a little bit of a clearer voice, and there's something layered over it, and slowly those same tendrils start wrapping around the figure, and it almost seems like they're fading. You got one more.
I do. I'm trying to think of what else I can do right now. The location that she's in, that Ren is in this memory. So I know that the person that she's forgotten was the high priest. Is there anything about this location that indicates that the person she's talking to is the high priest?
Their clothing certainly seems ornate.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and give me a perception. Investigation, either or.
Perception. 19.
Yeah, this is a fairly nice looking office. There's certainly a lot of books on the shelves. There seems to be a couple relics sort of around the room displayed. You've never seen the room before, though Ren is certainly very comfortable in it. And it does look like if this isn't a servant's quarters, and you could probably take a pretty good guess that this is at least some sort of noble or figure's quarters.
Right.
And it might be pretty safe to assume that this might be the high priest's.
Gotcha.
But you still can't quite make out his face.
Right. Well, I will step back out of that memory. Trying to think of something I could do.
I will say, while you're in this spell,
Yes.
because this isn't really happening in real time,
Yes.
you do have the sending
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Dove. And I think Dove has probably sent you some things.
Yes.
Yeah, if I can help in any way.
Yeah.
Is this so sending normally has like a very limited amount of communication that's allowed between the two parties. Since I used it as like a open the connection between me and Dove along our weird fey magic stuff, would you allow it to be a little bit more loosey-goosey in that way?
I'm going to absolutely allow it to be loosey-goosey because I think this is fun.
Okay.
They do too. So, yes, I will absolutely allow this. I will say I will offer either you can attempt to do the last intelligence saving throw with advantage, or you can allow Dove to do the intelligence saving throw with advantage.
I will allow Dove to do the intelligence saving throw with advantage. I will, as I am going up to this memory, I will try to transmit everything I see straight to her.
Yeah, you're getting a weird, very strange sense of another place that feels like you're going to have a headache later. But you can see everything that Neve has seen.
All right. I don't know if you can hear me. Let's open this next curtain.
Yeah, I will. I feel like I can't like actually hear you. I just like,
You know.
yeah, I get like the sense, or like I just can barrage you with images, and you can respond with images, but like actual communication is weird. So I will step up and part the curtains.
Yeah.
And look in.
Okay.
Intelligence. Saving
Oh goodness. Now I have to be the one to do the thing. Oh no.
Advantage, right?
advantage.
15.
That's your advantage?
Yeah, that's my advantage. That's it.
15.
Honestly, that's probably better than I would have done.
Yeah. Well, with the 15,
I got a +1. What can I do?
It's better than my -1.
what is Dove's proficiency?
In life?
Should just your proficiency bonus.
Yeah, 3.
3.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say that that's actually an 18.
Okay.
Because as you're seeing through this, you get the shock of this memory in a little bit like you're transmitting a lot of these emotions across the same thing. So Neve, you also realize about the same time Duff does that you peer through this curtain and see Ren having an argument with the same figure, the same robes, and you can't totally make out what the words are, what the argument is about, because it's like trying to grasp onto smoke. Whatever has been said is almost not important to this memory, but they're clearly having a bit of a fight. And you can just see the image of an older man with a longer white beard sort of clasped at the end, and you see that he looks very sad and also a little disappointed in whatever is happening in this interaction. And that's when you notice the thing behind him. The thing behind him looks almost like a person, and it's approaching from behind the older man, and you still can't grasp onto a name that Ren remembers, but you watch as this thing's neck elongates and its arms come out and it sort of engulfs the man and begins to devour him.
Do I see this through Dove?
Yes. Ren is not witnessing it. You are getting the sense that this is an interruption in the memory, and from Dove, it is screaming aberration. Hence why you got your...
I want to do something real stupid.
Oh,
God. Yeah, go for it.
I am in this memory. I am in this space.
Yeah.
Oh, so
watching this creature. As it grabs the man, I want to try to run for it and touch it and cast inflict wounds. I don't know if I'll do shit, but that's just my like
roll to hit.
Uh-huh.
Let me pull up the fucking stat block.
That's a 26.
Mm.
I finally hit on inflict wounds.
Yes. You managed to inflict wounds, absolutely, on this thing. What happens is you rush forward as Neve into this memory, and as you reach out and touch one of the, like, arms have too many joints, and it's just, like, tightening further and further around the priest as one of the heads with its neck sort of cracking and elongating and expanding just starts devouring him, and you manage to reach out and touch its arm just as you watch another neck start coming out, and that one's eyes, as its head forms out of the tendrils, looks straight at you.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts dissolving a tiny bit. And as that happens, you are wrenched out of Ren's mind as she vomits directly onto the floor. She looks like hell. Premac, you've been watching this. Dove is sort of like wide-eyed, a little not focused, and you watch as Ren goes almost sheet white and starts sweating and shaking, and you see the moment as it's about to happen as she starts heaving, breathing heavily, and just vomits straight onto her shoes, basically.
Probably onto my lap because I'm sitting like right.
Yeah, it's just all over you too.
Yeah. Will you let me roll damage just for the satisfaction of rolling damage?
Yes.
Thank you. 20 damage. 20 necrotic damage.
Yeah. I will say Ren does not look well. Like, she looks almost like her eyes have gotten a little paler, almost like drained of color, just like she has. And you can almost see, and Premac, you get a full view of this as part of her curls start streaking white.
Oh.
Just like a shock of white in her hair.
So, is that...
Oh god.
I'm so sorry.
Are you okay?
What did you do?
Well, there was something in your brain, and so I kind of attacked it.
You attacked my brain?
No,
I'm gonna get a
not
drink of
your
water.
brain.
I'll be
It
right
was
back.
something in your memory that was not supposed to be there. That was evil monster thing.
They do this to you. Ren is like looking back at Premac as the only person that she is trusting right now.
Primac's looking at the puke on the floor in the basket of bread.
Yeah, I'm
He's
like,
I'm terribly sorry. I had them out longer than I thought. And he's just going to go put them away. Bread. They did. Could you just do this for a moment for me, please, Ren? Any marks on her hands?
No. No marks on her hands.
Yes, I
Give
don't
me
remember
a-
exactly.
Give me a perception check.
Not great. 9.
I'm going to say this was not incredibly hard to do. The color in one of her eyes is almost gone. It looks
Much like
gray.
the hair, kind of like losing.
Yeah, it's not white, like it's not like she's blind, but it looks like almost drained out of one of her eyes.
Oh, hold on a moment, dear. Let me just look for a moment. And I'm going to go up to her face and just kind of like move in front of her eyes. Follow the nail for a moment. Does she follow everything fine with that eye?
It's a little slow, and she's clearly like shaking and sweating, but yeah, she's otherwise fine.
Can you see it just fine out of this side?
Yes, is there something wrong with my eyes?
Little bit of discoloration, that's all.
Oh, what?
Does her effect, do they look like, I don't know, some kind of effect of necrotic damage, or does it seem like something entirely different?
No, it looks like it's not necrotic damage. You've seen necrotic damage, and that is like a rotting. This is not a rotting.
Okay.
When you've cast inflict wounds before, it's like opening like lesions and gross stuff. This is almost like part of her has just gotten a little duller.
Do you remember anything different?
I mean, my head really hurts.
I will cast a healing word on her. Just in
Yeah.
case there's anything that I did that hurt her.
She
She
a
gets-
little bit of her pallor comes back.
Yeah, she gets 6 points of healing.
Okay. And she breathes a little deeper and like sees the ends of one of her hairs very white, and she's like, what was in my head?
I have a guess, but I don't. Well, we've been hearing a lot about this thing called the Forgotten Devourer, and I do believe he devoured someone that you used to know, and so you and presumably everyone else forgot him. And also, he's in your brain eating the. That was weird.
He was in my brain?
He was in your memory, and I was in your memory, and so he reached out to eat the high priest, and so I went and attacked it. And I mean, that was all in your brain, so.
Okay. Well, that is terrifying. Is it
Yeah.
Is it not there anymore? I don't remember it.
Well, the memories are still there, but, edited, I guess.
The moment Neve had mentioned the high priest, was there any change in Ren's expressions or change in thoughts? Is this different?
Give me an insight check.
Would you allow me to make an insight check as well?
Yes.
15.
15.
Ooh, 12.
12. Ren does look a little less confused when you mention that. And it sort of nods almost instinctually at when you mention the high priest, but it's not like a aha sort of moment. But a little bit more like she does recognize what you're talking about.
She recognized, because what did she believe had happened before to the high priest?
Haven't had one in years.
Yeah, they hadn't had one in 20 years.
So when you said the high priest disappearing, it's like, yeah, I remember this now. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe not recognizing that she recognizes it. Is that the idea? That almost not recognizing that she didn't know before but now knows? It's just is that what we're seeing?
She had looked very confused when you were like, the high priest, we don't have a high priest, and now you're mentioning it, and she's like, yeah.
While I'm out grabbing waters quickly, can I take a moment to take a deep breath and consider everything that I just saw there? Being a outside observer and kind of I'm assuming that kind of through Neve's eyes, seeing the whole situation. Can I try to figure out what sort of aberration that could have been, given the fact that I had such an up close personal view of it? And they're my favorite. They're my favorite enemy right now.
Give me a. Well, I don't know what check that would be. History?
Yeah, I mean
Nature?
anything intelligence or wisdom related, I have double proficiency on.
I'll say history. Go ahead and give me a history check.
Okay. Do I just add my proficiency? Because I'm not proficient in history. But I'm also not proficient in Arcana or anything like that, so
I will say add your proficiency because it's it's your preferred.
Plus the proficiency would be a 15.
15. Okay. You don't recognize the creature directly. You know about creatures that sort of grow
Oh,
as
shit.
they. Mhm.
I have advantage on int checks to recall information about them.
Yeah. Roll.
I found
roll again.
I was like, wasn't there something else? I'm sorry. It might not be. It might be the same.
Yeah.
It's worse. We're good. Okay, keep going.
All right. I will say with the 15 is still good. The 15 helps. You don't know of the name of this creature, like you didn't recognize it when it happened. You definitely have heard of aberrations that have the ability to mess with the mind, and you know aberrations that used to devour people, yes, and devour their minds, but straight up eating a dude, not so much. Usually it's one or the other, but you do recognize. Let me check one thing. I gotta check what this is. It is a. That's fine. You know creatures that tend to grow limbs or grow heads tend to be not of this plane, certainly. And so putting it all together, you don't know the specific creature, but it definitely feels like given a little bit more information, you are now going to be able to recognize it if you were to see it again.
Well, that's good. Okay. Then I will take water. And on my way back, just because I can't help myself, I'm going to do one more primeval awareness. Since anytime I saw it so close to me, I feel like it's here. So I want to just see if it's here. I don't know. Using a spell slot to detect any aberrations, fiends, celestials, dragons, beasts. I don't know. It's everything around.
Yeah, your primeval awareness.
Yes.
And that's a 6 mile.
Yes, because I'm in favor train.
You do this, and you get a very similar aberration ping in the palace.
That's here. Okay.
It's like just at the back of your head. A weird scratch.
I'll come back with 4 waters. I have very large hands. It works perfectly. Okay. I hope everyone is feeling better and don't need too much support, but here is some water. Also, I think that thing is here in the palace somewhere, not to cause any additional worries, but I can feel it.
You are getting better at sensing these things. I see. Dove.
They're getting closer, I think.
I'm going to go clean up the vomit that's on me. I'll be back.
Do you need the
Just
tub?
gonna. What?
Do you need my tub?
No, I think the bathroom will be fine for now. Do you have? I might need a spare change of clothes. If you have some, Premac.
Just like
Yeah.
just like
whatever you think would fit is. It's great, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, can I just whips out something? It's gonna be like this there's like this red cape that goes with this kind of like soft kind of cloth browns and blacks kind of outfit kind of thing. Just like pulls it out. It was wrapped around him in one spot. He's like, yes, this will do just nicely, I think.
Yes.
It's got
Lovely,
I'm
thank
with
you.
stupid on it with a big arrow.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna go clean up.
Clean up a little bit.
Yeah.
Ren is going to do the same and is clearly like, I would like to go, please.
I'm going to stop both of them very quickly before they leave, and I want to just like do a look at both of them and see if I can like sense any like stray aberration on them. I want to just look, because I have immediately seen that Ren looks different, so I want to check if they're both okay and how bad Ren is. And I want to kind of compare them. See if there's
I will
anything
say,
off.
Neve seems fine, other than covered in vomit.
It's a little gross.
Yeah, it's not great. Ren had just eaten.
It means it's less digested.
Yes, so it'll be easier to clean off.
Is that Tabasco? Oh,
Yeah.
That's...
Hot sauce on bread. Ren seems mainly fine, but there's almost like a weird, almost like a smell of like ozone that you sort of pick up with aberrations, but it smells like a void. Basically, it is not great. And it's not that she smells like it, but it's like she passed through an area that had it, and she definitely, like, otherwise she still smells like a person.
Okay. Right. You're good to go. Sorry about that. I had to check something.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just gonna, go clean.
Yes. Thank you, Ren. I'm sorry for all of the craziness. Hopefully getting back to your duties won't be too difficult. We'll probably speak with you later on all of this.
Okay. Sure. Sounds great. And she's like backing out of the room, clearly like very shaken and wants to go lie down.
Hair looks lovely.
She's like taking a twist and like making sure that it can't be seen.
And one final little thing, please, before you go.
Yes.
I wouldn't speak of this high priest to anyone right now. You may be the only person who currently remembers him.
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
Just with us.
All right. I can do that.
For your safety.
Slightly threatening. Yes. And she's going to go, and we're going to take our break here. We'll take a 15-minute break.
Sure.
Like a 15-minute break. We will be back at 9:37, and we're going to get some water. We're going to go to the bathroom, stretch, straighten your shoulders, and we'll see you in 15 minutes.
sky beneath the ice, drowning in the waters as black as your eyes. Words so soft, weaving into songs like gold, pulling me beneath. Oh, your touch is so cold. Love, my heart, it breaks for you, but the darkness is pushing me
welcome back. I hope you stretched. I hope you straightened your shoulders. Got some water. And we return to Cordially Invited, where Neve has maybe caused a little bit of existential damage to
I
Ren.
only ever cause problems.
That should be on Neve's business card.
Yes. Do you need a problem? I'll make one.
Yes. If you have a problem, I can make it happen.
You will.
Well, you're about to.
And Dove is able to sense aberrations within 6 miles, and there's definitely one within the palace. Ren is off. Ren is gone. And we are back. You guys have the day. It is probably around 10:30. It is morning time.
Perhaps if we had discovered more about this aberration earlier before I left for breakfast, my desire to hit something might have focused on it a little bit more than perhaps. Yes, well, this aberration
Well,
has.
When you paint a target on your back, you do lure out your enemies.
I will remember that.
I will say, it seems to me that Corcoran was under the influence of whatever this aberration is, so he may not be actually that bad of a guy.
I don't know. We don't know anything. We don't know enough about him from before times. I have a feeling he was always an asshole. And
I mean, we could ask around.
well, we could. I mean, to be fair, he did win a medal for killing Faye. So,
Well, yes, but
that
I mean,
was before the whole like ritual thing.
is that medal though
definitely-
because he killed somebody during the ritual? Under the influence of whatever happened?
Didn't the medal come before he was? Yes.
It did? Okay.
Yeah.
It also begs the question, of course, is he worse for having earned the medal and done the actual slaying, or is it the society that decided to give him a medal for the actual slaying? I'm not sure which one
They're
you would
both
call.
bad.
I hate politics.
I mean, Premac, they're both bad, but he still did kill Faye. I mean, not that we haven't fought Faye, but you know, feels weird.
Well, let's turn our
I don't know what
attention
Faye
to an
he killed.
aberration then instead.
I'm also technically very good at killing Fae, but I don't do it as a regular hobby, and I haven't won
I
any
guess
medals.
you know. I was just thinking, like, if you win a medal to kill a Fae, it's probably like an important Fae to like the Fae society in some way. Like it, and that seems. I
Are
don't
we
know.
sure that we're not just jealous that he got a medal? Do you want me to make us medals for?
I don't.
Slay-
I think so.
I'm going to get a crown, Premac. I don't need a medal.
But think about it, all three of us with matching little medals, and then when we come out to like present the shows or whatever, people be like, "Oh, those guys have something going on. They know what they're doing because they all look coordinated."
Branding. I like it.
Like
Yeah.
a badge.
Yes, just be my language. Yes. We'll look so much more professional than the other performers if we have like a badge of performing. Yes.
Dove, how long does your primeval awareness last?
1 minute.
Okay.
Come on.
Can you track it? Like you only know the direction or how far away it is?
I can't track it. It doesn't reveal their location.
Okay.
No.
So you have it. It's fading.
Oh, also, just another small thing. I am losing track of the aberration we were going to follow, so I don't know if we want to do that. If I use another spell slot, we can do it again. But that's another one. So,
Well, are we going to be able to catch it before it goes?
well, let's not consider it. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Haha.
Ah.
Let's go.
Love it.
You can definitely track at least where, like, you know, the general direction of where it is. You can't follow it, but it was definitely towards the King's Tower.
Is that where we were last time? Last time was the Mage's Tower.
Now
Yeah,
that's
the
the
old-
Mage's Tower.
Mage's Tower that was mainly storage.
They like towers.
There are multiple towers. There's 3 towers in the palace. So that is something to consider. The King's Tower is where you know a lot more of the royalty lives, where it's a little bit more heavily guarded. You can make your way over there just fine. You just start noticing that there are more guards around. And I will say, the general sense of where it is you can follow, because you know a rough estimate of the palace, and you also know aberrations. I will say, if you would like to roll a nature check with advantage, you can see exactly how close you can get.
Sure. I'd love to.
I know it's nature, but it's really urban, but it's fine.
9.
A 9. You can generally get the sense that it's like up a flight of stairs, you're headed towards the King's Tower, and that's where you're starting to feel a little like you're getting lost. And
So then, much like last time, I will be like, this tower is the location of question.
I feel like we should maybe take a step back and think about this a little more, because this is the King's Tower. We should be really careful if we're gonna just barge into the King's Tower.
But an aberration barged in, which, I mean, it probably doesn't look very normal. So if we can find it and show it who's boss, then maybe people would thank us for our work.
The last time we followed an aberration, it didn't go so hot. We didn't find it.
It was there. I swear. I think it was there, but it wasn't there,
Well,
but it was.
I don't doubt you. It was there.
Okay.
How are we going to prove that to the guards? Who are just going to see us breaking into the King's Tower?
Well, if we were to kill the thing, I'm sure then they'd see it. We just
We
have to be
didn't
very
find
fast.
it last time.
Maybe we'll find it this time.
You don't have a guarantee of that. The problem is getting in. That's
you would know that the King's Tower is much larger than the Archmage's. There are probably guards inside of it that will stop you from going into certain rooms, but there are certain places where you would be fine to go that are just like common areas in this space, and also servants' areas in this space. As long as you're not trying to directly access the king and the royal chambers, you're probably fine. You also know that this is where Lord Nolan, his quarters are.
Ooh.
And the Duke's probably, and Argo Finch's.
Well, Nolan probably owes us a favor.
Yeah, let's go talk to Lord Nolan. Just to say hi. Or whatever.
Yes.
I don't know.
And I will keep a nose out for the aberration.
Yes.
A nose out. Yeah, absolutely. You guys are gonna go. There's large double doors into the King's Tower for these quarters, and it's no one's gonna stop you. There's no one outside of them.
Can we have a reminder, if we find Nolan, we saw him getting kind of bossed around almost magically, correct? Is this the right person I'm thinking of?
Yes.
And
Yes.
and that was the dagger in the camp and all that kind of stuff. And then we kind of broke that enchantment, if I remember correctly. We also stole that dagger, or a dagger.
And then gave it back.
And then gave it back via bird sending.
Unfortunately.
And Nolan was aware that something had gone awry with the magic. Like he was aware that he had been under some influence, correct?
Yes.
Nolan was aware that he had been under a spell. He was kind of foggy on the details, but he knew that he wasn't allowed to talk about it while he was under the effects. And he was very thankful to you all for having broken the effect.
Perhaps we could remind him of his gratitude to us for releasing him from that and see if there's any additional areas of the tower he might be able to escort us through.
We may even be able to explain to him that something similar has happened to another, and he could feel some empathy towards the situation. And the possible situation of where it could happen to, say, one of the royals. We need to let him be aware that there's something bad happening, and we need to stop it.
It's worth a shot.
Yes.
To Lord
Okay.
Nolan.
All right.
Right.
Put our confident pants on.
So you all
Okay.
enter through the main doors to head into the tower. It's a much larger space. Still open, round sort of landing chamber with some gorgeous stairs going up the middle and sort of two staircases going up at different levels on around the spire, so to speak. There are 2 guards posted at the stairs and 2 guards on the other side of the door that you entered. And one by the stairs is holding a sort of halberd and looks at you and goes, "State your business."
We're here to see Lord Nolan.
For what purpose?
A friendly chat.
And you are
Entertainers.
over
For the wedding?
Yes.
Did you
Yes.
forget there was a wedding?
No.
The Lord Nolan is managing the whole thing. It's like a
very
big
loud
deal
about it.
here.
It's because we don't have medals, the badges. We could use those.
Yes, see, we're planning on
I
getting badges
Don't
where we
think
all
that
say,
will help.
Yeah, would it have helped if we showed you the badges?
I don't think entertainers usually have badges.
But
It's novel.
it would seem. would
It's
seem
just the
different.
general air of bird feathers and the
Oh, thank you.
many patchwork layers. It's just a lot.
Patchwork.
Apologies. He's like looking over you and is like,
Don't be rude. You already forgot there was a wedding. I'm just
Are you a
gonna like
fashion
walk
designer?
past him and start heading up the
Yeah.
stairs.
you hear him sort of grumble, "There hasn't been a wedding yet." And he will let you by, and the other guard who's been like, he's second floor.
Thank
First door on the
you.
left, and give you sort of directions, and they sort of watch you go up. You go up, I will say you go up the left-hand stairway that they point you to. It's not the nicest of the stairways, clearly. It's going towards some of the lesser nobles' quarters. But it is clearly a little bit fancier than the quarters that you have been put in. The wing of the palace that you are in is nice, but it is certainly plain. And this is carpeted and well lit. There's stained glass windows lining the outside of this stairway as you go up. And as you hit the second floor landing, you see that there are a much longer hallway sort of wrapped around. And one of the doors opens, and you do see Lord Nolan, who is coming out of his quarters with a servant next to him. He's sort of in the midst of conversation and looks up and he goes, "Oh,
Lord Nolan. Can we have
yes,
a word?
sure. Yeah, what are you doing here?"
We came to talk to you.
Oh, all right. Yes. How may I help you? And he like turns to the servant and sort of waves them off. And they give
Can
him a
we
bow.
step somewhere more private than the hallway?
Oh, yes, you can start stepping into my quarters.
Okay.
You can come into the receiving room. And he waves you in, and you all are in, where is Owlbear? You all are sort of stepped in. Lord Nolan is a pretty well-off guy. You all are stepping into what is basically like an opening wing of quarters. I will say Lord Nolan will lead you guys in. I'll put you here on the map so you can see. Beep. There we go. And yeah, he is going to sort of wave you in. You can see sort of like there is probably a seating area, a sitting room. That is the first room off here, and then a few two other rooms. But he sort of steps in and closes the door and is like, yes, how can I help you this morning? Unexpectedly.
Well, first of all, how are you doing now that, the spell is all gone and all that stuff? Everything okay?
Oh, yes, quite busy putting together the final pieces of the trials. Hadn't expected to have to go on the first one, so it's all fine. It's all good. I do thank you for your assistance. But is there something more specific that I can help you with?
We have become aware of something rather bad in the castle, and we've tracked it to this tower.
It's not you.
It is not you.
He's like,
I don't know
deeply
why.
offended.
We never implied that it was you. It is not you.
Okay.
In case you were also wondering.
I wasn't. Thank you, Premac. There's something bad in the tower, and he starts looking around a little bit.
Do you remember that monster that came out of the pond when we fought the boar? After the boar was dead, there was that monster
Oh,
that
yes,
came
that
out.
grotesque.
Yeah,
sketchy
it's the
thing.
same kind of thing.
Oh,
Seems to
that's
be in the
not-
castle, having trouble finding it exactly, but we tracked it to this tower.
Oh. All right. That is concerning.
Real quick, on this map, there is a broken window laying over here.
There is. Nolan has
Is
said
that-
nothing about it.
Is that here in the game as well?
Would you like to do a perception check?
Yes, I really, really would.
Oh, shit.
That is a 5.
There's
That one.
some benches.
I'm way
up
too
against the wall.
fixated on Lord Nolan.
Yeah, Lord
Everything
Nolan's
else
starting
is-
to get a little anxious, and a little nervous, and you have seen him like this before, so you are like, oh, I know how to handle him, and you are not paying much attention. The other two are welcome to also try and do perception checks.
Yeah.
I have a question.
I
He
have an answer.
said you can come just into the receiving room, correct?
Yes.
Is this all the receiving room? Or is this the receiving room like it's kind of like just this front section here where we're standing?
There is probably a sitting room. You can see off this way that it's a little more open. The doors are sort of cracked. And that would be like a sitting room, his sort of office space. This is sort of the a hallway, but this is where people would be received into his quarters that wouldn't be like directly into his bedroom.
I guess what I'm really getting at is that he's never really followed Lord Nolan's directions before. And so if he said, come on in and kind of put a limit of the receiving room, Premac would like to just kind of start sweeping in, going in as far as possible. Not like I'm running forward, but more like I'm inspecting all of the tapestries. I'm inspecting the carpet. I'm looking around at what's the decorations and just kind of like, I want to see as much as I can. I'm not
If I
looking-
can, I will
not-
try to eye contact with Lord Nolan. I'm having a conversation with you, and you need to pay attention to me right now to give Premac a little bit more space to do what he's doing.
Absolutely. Nolan will be very focused on you. Premac, you can put yourself wherever on the map that you think you would sort of push past as this conversation is going.
Well, I'd head straight down the hallway on the carpet just like looking around as I go?
Yeah, I would say that you can absolutely notice as soon as you step past the statues and pillars. You can see that there is, in fact, a broken window, sort of smashed in. There's a large, sort of broken item that is at the base of this broken window. And I would like you to give me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh shit!
Fucker. Oh shit.
All right,
You're
plus
very
3.
good at it.
Natural 20. 23.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you see this broken window and this broken item, and you're like, that's weird. And as you turn back to tell the rest of your party and Lord Nolan, or say anything about it, you see that Neve and Lord Nolan are like eye contact, having a conversation. Dove, you're probably next to Neve.
I was gonna look around for
Yeah,
aberration
why
stuff.
don't you put
but
yourself wherever it is on the map that you would like to be?
I think we probably found it. I'll start sniffing around.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Dove, you're gonna also give me an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. Okay. Do I have advantage?
Yes.
Ooh.
Because it's an aberration?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Saving throw. Oh, it's a 1 or a 2. For
Yeah, that is not gonna do it, unfortunately.
Oh.
3.
Yeah.
I think I do a broad
I-
sniff. I'm like, nah, there's nothing here, and I go right back to Nia. Like, yeah, we're good.
You see. Hold on one moment. You see nothing, Dove. This is fine. Nothing's
all
going
works.
on.
Yeah, we're fine.
Meanwhile, Premac, you turn, and as soon as you notice this broken window and you're like, that's weird, you turn back and you can immediately tell. You blink for a moment because you almost missed it, and then your hand starts burning. Like pins, needles, and fire in your palm as you turn to see Neve and Lord Nolan having a conversation, and standing behind Lord Nolan here is a person. They are a little tall. They're a little at first you're like, a person? No, that's a statue. And you realize, no, that's not a statue at all. Because as you blink and your eyes sort of refocus, you realize that this person has 2 heads. And it's slowly starting to reach out for Lord Nolan. And let me give you their tokens, because it has 2 heads.
Oh shit.
And these 2 heads look very different.
Oh.
I can link them.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
Do not want.
Wow.
Yes.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So they are one, the sort of like more formed looking head has started to have a bit of a mouth. The other second head that looks older and like wiry white hair, and its jaw is opening as it's like slowly attempting to wrap Lord Nolan around in arms that are elongating and cracking with too many joints. And these 2 heads are starting to go around each side. And what would you like to do?
Premac will see this starting to wrap around Lord Nolan and will instantly yell out, just, it's here! And what he will attempt to do is essentially jump forward with his echo. If I had to move forward, he would run forward, jump forward with his echo, and try to, essentially put the echo in. Hold on, how far away is that? Let me just check there's our measurement tool here. 35 feet. So essentially can't teleport at the same time. Okay. I don't think I can reach it. Oh, can I reach Nolan? Hold on. Can I reach Nolan? Sorry, can I reach the thing? I can reach the thing, but not Nolan. So we'd run forward then and simply try to tackle. If it's reaching to wrap around Lord Nolan, he will try to wrap around the creature.
Okay. You can absolutely attempt to do this. You're going to shout, "It's here."
Yep.
Neve, you can also give me an intelligence saving throw with advantage.
Oh, with advantage?
With advantage.
How kind. A 17.
A 17. You can just catch a glimpse as your eyes sort of wander slightly, and you just see the flash of long, sharp teeth as another head sort of like almost rests itself on Lord Nolan's shoulder as the other one comes up around and is about to sink its teeth into his other one as Premac shouts, "It's here," and I would like us all to roll for initiative.
Hell yeah. All right.
There's nothing
right.
here. What
Yeah.
are we doing?
You are confused.
This is good.
This is a 17 initiative.
17.
Oh, god damn it. I got a natural 20.
10.
Oh god damn it.
I can't see anything. I got a 23.
Okay, so we got Bird with a 17.
No,
with a
23.
23, and Neve with a 17.
I got a 17, yeah.
Okay, 23. Neve with a 17. Premac.
10.
10. Let me roll for Lord Nolan.
Oh, buddy.
That seems about right for Lord Nolan.
Oh,
And
what
let
did
me
you get?
roll for this thing. He got a 9.
Yeah, that feels right.
Okay, this thing only got... Okay, it's only got... and Nolan got a 9. Okay. The first in the order is Dove. You are currently... You're sort of like... Almost like one ear is ringing, and it's very strange, because you can't see whatever it is that Premac is seeing, and maybe what Neve is seeing, and it's like your eyes just keep sliding past Lord Nolan, and can't seem to focus on wherever it's happening. I will say, you can roll at the end of your turn another intelligence saving throw.
May I ask a question?
Hey.
With advantage. Yes, you can.
I was just going to say, would I have been able to get my echo out during that moment? Or would
Yes.
you... It's okay if it's not. If it's got
I
to
would
be...
allow you to have the echo out.
Okay.
So you can place the echo within, what, 30 feet of you?
15. Oh.
15, yeah.
Yeah.
You can put, let me,
I did the
There you go.
wrong thing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
there's
you.
your echo.
Hell yeah. So I'll do that. As the echo kind of separates from Premac and starts to run forward as he yells, "It's here."
Yeah.
Yep.
So at the end of your turn, Dove, you can do an intelligence saving throw, but you'll have to do action or holding an action,
Yes,
whatever you'd like to do
yes.
beforehand.
I think Okay, but I noticed that I can't seem to look at Lord Nolan.
You can look at him, but as you don't know it, but as this thing starts enveloping him, your eyes are just like sliding right off.
Okay, so it's not a noticeable effect. It's just kind of
Yeah.
passive. All right.
It's honestly very just dismissive, like, it's whatever. No,
Yeah.
Lord Nolan.
Yeah. I think she would probably. Oh God, I've used all my spell slots on this. Stupid. I think I'll probably just end up casting another primeval awareness because I'll just. Where is it?
Oh.
What?
The sense of vertigo you have in that immediate moment of there's an aberration in this room nearly directly in front of you, because it is so violently strong.
Okay. Okay, that's an action. Oh my God. It's definitely here. I don't know where.
It's right
here.
fucking here!
I mean, yes, I can smell it, but where? Okay. And then as a bonus action, creature I can see. I can't see it, so I can't hit it with the hunter's mark. So instead, I won't do that. That's my turn. I'll roll the intelligence saving throw.
With advantage.
Thank you. 17 and 17, 18.
Ooh.
18!
Yes.
I will say with an 18, you can see one of the heads.
Oh!
And so you see this, like, two long arms, weirdly articulated, starting to wrap around Lord Nolan, and just one sort of nearly, like, too gaunt and stretched face, its mouth starting to just, like, loll open wider and wider and wider, like, over Lord Nolan's shoulder.
Oh, why didn't you just say it was right there? Come on, guys! Jeez! It's right. Whew! I'll get it next. Just give me a moment. I had to take this in. That's the end of my turn.
All right.
I'm a professional aberration killer, guys.
Next in the order is Neve.
So I can see some of it?
You can see it.
Okay, I can fully see it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I will simply draw my rapier and try to stab the head that's poking over Nolan's shoulder. I will kind of skirt to the pier so I can.
Okay.
Does that work?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
That works.
Yeah,
Yep.
stop smiling. We don't like it.
Does a 10 hit?
No. A 10
Yeah.
does not hit.
Attack 2. Does a 25 hit?
25 will hit this thing.
Cool. That is 6 piercing damage, and I'm going to expend a bardic inspiration for a defensive flourish, which is a d8.
Quickly shift our
So that's an extra 2 damage, so 8 damage total, and my AC goes up to 18.
All right.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Cool. Next up is the creature. The creature is basically grappling Lord Nolan. And Lord Nolan is very confused by you suddenly drawing your sword and starting to stab around
Nolan,
him.
you gotta get away!
And as you say this, he like goes to move and realizes he can't move his arms. And he starts struggling, and he has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, shit.
Nope. He is going to take 13 bludgeoning damage. And you all who can see it, watch as one of the heads starts just swallowing up part of Lord Nolan's shoulder and his arm, and like teeth sink in and release and sink in and release as it's almost like trying to test just how big he is. And its jaw just keeps dropping wider and wider and wider. And he is being consumed by at least one of these heads. That is one of its actions.
Oh boy. Don't like it.
It probably had a long day. It doesn't need to do anything else. It can. It can be
The
later.
other head is going to look at all of you, and it is going to scream. Now, here is the fun part. You all need to make a Constitution saving throw, DC 16.
$15.
12.
Eight.
Okay.
Ooh, this is going good today.
You all are going to take. Hold on, let me find it. How many of those dice? Where's my d10s? You all are going to take 11 sonic damage as you hear
The hedgehog?
Yes.
Oh god.
As you hear, it's like 4 songs are playing at once in your head, and they all are just too loud, and you can't make sense of any of them, and a little bit of blood trickling out of your ears, and Lord Nolan is just like, he's violently wincing as blood starts to seep out of his jacket. And that is that creature's turn. It is now Premac. You are up.
All right. All right, Premac. So I can see clearly that he's being consumed, I assume. I can see this thing perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I am going to, the echo will run up another 15 feet, because it can move up to 30. I will use half my movement to swap places with it.
Okay.
And it will. It's like it continues running the rest of its 15 feet movement, kind of thing. And as we kind of unravel and reappear in this cloud of clothing, Premac is going to attempt to grapple this target, this creature. No, I'd like to try to shove it. No, it's grappling Nolan, so I'm not going to. I'm going to grapple it, attempt to grapple it, and as I do, I'm going to turn to Dove and say, "Get Nolan away! Pull him off!"
Okay.
And I'm going to try to grapple it, try to make it so that it can't move, in the hope that maybe Dove can get Nolan away.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
So it's an acrobatics.
Is this
22.
contested?
Yeah. Acrobatics or athletics? Sorry. Yeah, I did athletics.
A 22.
Mm-hmm.
It fails. It got a 19.
Okay.
So you have grappled it.
Okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to do in your turn?
Yes, with my second attack, I will just try to. I'll try to just rake at its neck, kind of thing, with my claws.
Which neck?
The one that's biting at Nolan.
Okay.
I don't like that question. Which neck?
There's
Why do you gotta? I know, but like
17.
this is crazy.
A 17?
Yeah.
17 will hit.
Okay. That is a total of 9 damage.
Okay, 9 damage. Is that the end of your turn?
That is bonus to teleport. 2 attacks. One was a grapple, and one was the attack. Yeah.
Okay. How are you grappling this thing?
Premac always gets in real close and touches things he's not supposed to, as we've discovered. So as he runs up, his tail wraps around this creature. He's trying to keep it from being able to move if Dove or anyone else if Nolan was to try to break away or anything. So tail wrapped around, and then he's just bringing his claws in to attack. So he's not real close to it, and his tail's wrapped around the front of it.
Okay. At the end of your turn, this thing is going to take a legendary action. And it is going to use its other head and try and bite you.
Okay.
Hold on, let me pull up its block here. I love seeing modifiers. I love the modifiers. They make me so happy. Let's see what you get. Where is my... Oh. DNDBeyond is loading. Gotta refresh it.
And how's my hand doing at this point in time?
Oh, it is on fire. Absolutely on fire. It's not like distracting you, it's focusing you.
Okay.
It is beyond painful, but it's not gonna fuck you up.
Okay.
In terms of distracting you. I need this. Does a 18 hit you?
It does.
Okay. With an 18, you are going to take... Oop, that last dice is a spinning. Ah, fine. Got 2 1s in there. You're gonna take 6 piercing damage.
I like it.
And, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, okay. Plus
2
7?
heads! 2 heads.
Oh, it was an 18. It rolled to a 5. 12.
Oh.
It's like
This thing begins to engulf you.
Ah, damn.
2 heads can do 2 engulfings.
Hey, if I'm not in someone's mouth, I'm doing something wrong. This or something's not in mine. That's how Premac works. Makes friends with. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna finish that sentence.
Oh my god. Yeah, this thing, you slash out at it, and it just it wraps its jaws around your arm, and your arm is fully in its mouth as you are beginning to be engulfed by this thing. Yeah, you are going to also then take... Hold on. It only happens at the beginning of this. You're gonna take 5 damage. Bludgeoning damage. As this thing begins to engulf you.
Alright.
Never gonna get over that line. That is Lord Nolan's turn. Lord Nolan is going to attempt to extricate himself. He got an 11. It's not gonna do it. And he is going to take into some damage. The head that is grappled just is sinking teeth deeper and deeper into Nolan's shoulder. It can't move because it is grappled, but it's still got its jaws. It has already latched on to Nolan, so it's not going to let go if it can help it. Which brings us around to Dove.
Wonderful. Okay. So Premac told me to grab Nolan, but now both of them are getting enveloped.
Yes.
So, is this the kind of scene, like, if we're looking at this, where I could take my 10-foot reach glaive, slip it in between both of them, grab each side, and just start, like, yanking them by the torso to try to pull them both out at once, using my incredible strength?
I will say you could probably, from where you are, do that for Lord
Yeah, I can
Nolan.
do a scoot.
Or you could scoot around and do it for Premac. You're gonna have to choose.
I can still only do one? Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Because they're on opposite sides, so if you're gonna pull, you can only pull one towards you. Because the
Right.
creature is in between them.
Right. Ooh. Just a second. Need to read something.
I love hearing that.
While she's reading, how bad is Lord Nolan looking?
Lord Nolan is going paper white. He is looking like he is bleeding pretty bad.
But do we actually see blood, or is it just like the color's draining?
Oh no, there's blood on his
Okay.
jacket.
Okay.
Like he is bleeding profusely.
So, I have an ability with my swarm where if I attack something, it can trigger the target to make a strength saving throw or be moved up to 15 feet. So, if I, like, whacked Nolan on the kneecap and then told, like pointed the bird's hit their way, could they, like, pull at Nolan and I'll pull at Premac on the other side with the... It's only a DC strength saving throw of 10, so it's not very good. I'm assuming it would be against the aberration, maybe? Because it'd be the birds trying to
So you're-
pull Nolan.
So you're attacking Nolan with the birds to try and
Yes.
pull him away.
Yes. So I will do damage to Nolan, probably.
Probably. You can
Unfortunately.
do non-lethal damage with the birds. That's fine.
Mhm.
I will allow you to do that. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna let you do it because the engulf feature is that if the Hydra's head moves, the engulf target moves with it. But it said nothing about ripping the target out of the engulfing. So I will
Okay.
allow you to do that.
Hopefully we'll get all of him. Okay. So, to activate this, I need to... After I immediately hit the creature with an attack. So I would like to hit Nolan with my bonus action polearm attack. So it is the smallest one it could possibly be, so he doesn't get too terribly hurt.
Okay.
And then I'll use the rest of my... I have two attacks and the bonus action attack when I do attack. Can I use those two attacks to pull Premac rather than hit something?
Pulling Premac or Nolan?
Both, hopefully.
Pre-
So you're trying to hit Premac, but the birds
So-
are trying to get Nolan?
Yes.
I'm gonna say this: as you are looking at Premac, he's like his arm is getting engulfed. The one that has the thing on his hand. He was screaming in pain, and as it's going in, you see him kind of being like leaning into it as he's howling in pain. Like he's like, "All right, we want to get close." He's not trying to pull away from it.
Okay. Oh, he likes that. All right. Okay. Well, I guess this makes this whole thing a lot simpler. I will instead attack the thing twice with my action, and then my bonus action I will attack Nolan and have the birds try to pull at Nolan.
Okay. Go ahead and roll
yes,
those
do that.
attacks.
Okay. I rolled damage. I don't know why. Does a 21 hit?
The creature?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's the first.
Nolan.
A 13 to hit the creature.
That's not gonna do it.
So it's just the 10, so it would just be, it would just be the 10 points of damage that I accidentally rolled ahead of the to hit.
Okay.
And then to hit Lord Nolan,
Non-lethally.
it's a natural 20.
Oh! Wait, is that good or bad? I'm not really sure at this point.
Non-lethal damage, it's fine.
But it is doubled, right?
Nope,
Is that
you're still gonna double it.
okay?
This is the most effective your swarm has ever been.
Oh, I rolled so well on the damage too. I got 11.
Yeah. These birds,
Oh my
your
god!
swarm, like, rises off of you, digs all of their talons into Lord Nolan, and it's gonna yank. Do they
Okay.
just automatically move, or is it a strength saving throw?
No, it's a strength saving throw. The DC is a hefty 10. But I'm sure that
Can he choose
this will be
fail?
helpful.
Let's see what Lord Nolan can do.
I mean, if he'd like to fail, that's a very cool thing. Oh goodness.
I
I'm
will
so sorry,
say-
man.
He rolled a 5.
Oh. Well, that fails then.
Fails.
Eh?
Yeah, he had no chance of making it with rolling a 5. He is not
Okay.
that strong. So he
Okay.
fails. He's not choosing to fail, but he definitely fails.
All right, then he's moved 15 feet horizontally in a direction of my choice.
Mhm.
So I will just let's get him. Obviously, can't move him towards everybody. So where's the measuring tool? It's this one.
I think there is a grid.
Yeah. So
Yeah, there is.
just pretty much at this doorway. Then you have to move. So I will put him here, if that's okay.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Okay. And I'll move myself right here. Try to block off the
Okay.
spot. Bit. That's my turn.
Okay. Absolutely.
Effective.
Yeah.
You rip Lord Nolan out of this creature's jaws.
Covered in bird scratches from them.
He is. The birds are still, like, deeply embedded in his jacket and his skin. He's
Yep.
got tear marks from the teeth going up along his arms and his neck as he's bleeding profusely. He sort of slumps back against the wall as you step in front of him and get prepared to deal with Premac and this creature. And that is where we are going to end our evening.
Oh, so good.
Yes. So we will start up in the middle of this combat against this aberration, trying now to devour Premac when we are back on August 17th. I believe is the next time we are back in business. And we can deal with this combat when we get there.
I had so many things I was going to do next. I had to write them all down because I was like, I'm going to forget half the mechanics I need to do. I was like,
You have to keep that sticky note for 2 weeks.
I
You
know.
can't lose it.
I'm like, I got to put it somewhere now. It's not even actually sticky. It's just paper. I gotta
You
find
gotta
where
tape it
put this.
somewhere.
Yep.
I'll send a reminder. You gotta prepare. I will leave all of this on Owlbear so you all can see exactly where we have ended. So thank you all for joining and watching us in this pure chaos session. This is Problem Hour, in which we don't solve them, we start them. It's
Thanks,
lovely. Thank you for always being the group to surprise me on literally everything you do. And otherwise, we'll be back in 2 weeks to resume the combat. Feel free to join us on our Discord, follow us on socials, check out the rest of the Dice Cult videos here on YouTube or over on Twitch. And I don't think I'm forgetting anything else.
Other than to say, DM, you never appear surprised. You always roll so well with the chaos. I'm so impressed.
I have so many laid plans, and then you guys do things, and I'm like, this is so much better than what I had planned, and now I'm just gonna purely improv off of it. So my notes are chaotic as fuck, where I just hit enter a bunch of times, and I'm like, Neve does this, and then I have a bunch of just like, I just have names written down. Premac does this, and this person's now gonna do this. It's great. So we're very excited. And I can't wait to see what happens next.
I have one little request. I'm sorry I keep interrupting.
Good.
I would really like it if we could show Abby's artwork.
Oh
uh,
yes, absolutely.
Oh,
We've got
Yay!
Good.
Oh, look at this cute little party that I'm putting through horror.
Yes.
very
Oh.
adorable, and you can find
Oh.
these stickers on the Dice Cult Discord if you want to come and join us. The
Yeah.
link is in the description down below.
Oh, they're so good. What a happy, upbeat note for the bloodshed that is about to happen. Oh, it's so fun. Well, yeah, always.
thank you.
Always.
Yeah.
And we will see you all in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye-bye. See you, everyone. Next time. Bye.
Bye. Oh, no.